Rogers back with me. And, obviously the most sort of important thing, I think, as far as the media is concerned and a lot of people at home, is that the NRA has just come out and said they're willing to have this conversation, basically. Lee, they're saying, okay, we might need to rethink how this is regulated. Specifically, they mentioned the regulation of these bump stocks. And you heard from Sarah Huckabee Sanders that the White House is interested in having this dialogue as well. Do you see the rest of the country able to catch up to where it looks like the NRA may actually be right now?
Look, I think that everybody's going to be astounded whether or not they're going to get the credit that they deserve right now for saying we will be willing to have conversations. We are willing to talk across party lines, across issues. That's another question. But I think that the country, this is what the country wants. Polling is going to suggest the same kind of thing. And I believe that this is the right thing to do. I also think that Sarah Huckabee Sanders did give some interesting things that she said, as we get more details about what caused this, we're willing to have conversations about anything and everything to keep Americans safe.
This is a very big deal, everyone. I just, can't sort of say that enough. The NRA is saying it is willing to have these conversations, that regulation should be looked at to control these bump stocks, which basically trick out any kind of semi-automatic weapon to make it fully automatic. And this is what this man did in Las Vegas. And this is why he was able to fire so many rounds, so many shots, and be so deadly. Steve, the NRA is saying it's willing to have the conversation. The White House saying it's willing to have the conversation. The Democrats clearly willing to have the conversation. Is this going to be significant, in your view, for the gun industry?
Very significant. And guess who set the tone for that unity? The President of the United States. Trish, we're living in extraordinary times with extraordinary challenges, and I'm pleased to say we have an extraordinary president who went there, who went to Las Vegas with one mission in mind: to unify this country. And now he's been so successful, he has the NRA jumping on board saying, you know what? We want to be included, Mr. President, in the conversation, because what you're trying to do is unite this country. So let's be part of it. So I give the president credit for that.
Yeah, and of course, don't forget the NRA endorsed Donald J. Trump for president way back when, and that was a big deal then. Let me share with you, though, perhaps how some members of the base that are very, very big Second Amendment supporters feel. Jan Morgan, whom you guys know, she's been on the show before, she was on this week basically saying she didn't want the president to go anywhere near this. Watch her.
He can sit down with Nancy Pelosi and Schumer and negotiate on a number of issues, but the Second Amendment is not one of them. 90 million gun owners in this country. Well,
yeah,
90 million
you
gun
guys,
owners in this country helped get him elected.
Together, and you did help him get elected. So
yes, we do.
If he looks like he might waffle on this issue in any way, shape, or form, what does that mean for you and other folks in the base?
He better not waffle. And I think that President Trump knows better, because he understands this one simple fact, that restrictiveness, Trish, on gun laws is a moot point. It only affects law-abiding citizens. The criminals, the crazy people, and the terrorists do not act based on the laws.
So here's the thing. I mean, the country has obviously changed a lot in recent years. I think it's very significant that the NRA is now saying that they're going to look at this and that they think that there should be some regulation for these bump stocks. Lee, you see from Jan there, she wasn't interested in entertaining any of this. How is he going to bring people like her? Can he bring them along, or does he need to just go more for the middle here?
I'm not sure that he can bring somebody like that along, or there's a lot of people out there who are saying we shouldn't even have a conversation about the Second Amendment. I don't think that's the right approach that any leader should have. You've got to have conversations about the tough issues. You've got to understand what people are talking about. When you look at the Second Amendment, the reason it's there is so that people can protect themselves, if they need to hunt, so that they can provide food. These are the kinds of things that guns are for. So we should be having a conversation about whether or not these guns are doing those things. Are they appropriate for people to have?
In other words, a semi-automatic that can become a fully automatic weapon is not something that you need to protect yourself from an intruder, or something that you need, Steve, last word to you, to protect yourself from a hunter. Forgive me, to actually do the hunting.
Well, you know what, Trish? This is why the president, the press secretary said that the president said, let's slow down a little bit, let's take a deep breath, and then there'll be another day for this conversation. Everyone's so highly emotionally charged in this. We need to settle down, unify, and then have the conversation.
Well, that's a good point. But I got to say, the NRA out there leading the way along
Yes.
with the president, which is really fascinating to
extraordinary.
see. It is extraordinary. Lee, Steve, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bold statements from the president on possibly forgiving the massive debt